Hi everyone, welcome to this video. My name is Vanessa, if you don't know, and today is going to be a different video because I'm going to sit down and talk to you about my school, UMass Boston. So right now in high school, this is the college season where all the juniors and the seniors are visiting schools, they're picking their schools. My cousin right now is in that process, and because of all of this, I decided that it'd be a cool idea to kind of give like a student perspective and opinion on UMass Boston. UMass Boston is a public university in Dorchester, Massachusetts, which is a suburb of Boston, and it's very, very huge, but that's kind of foreshadowing what I'm going to talk about. So, the point of this video, I'm not trying to like slander the school or anything like that. This is just my personal opinions. I've been going to the school since 2016. This is my third year. I'll be graduating next year, but because the school has changed so much since when I started, I decided that it'd be a good idea to kind of inform everyone, because there's not really a lot on YouTube I've noticed about the school. So I don't know, I might save someone a trip from traveling all the way here, but you know, so hope you enjoy. And now let's get into the good and the bad of UMass Boston. So I divided it by good and bad, and then I also divided it into 5 sections. And don't mind me, I have my iPad here, I have the chart in front of me, so if I'm looking down it's because I'm reading off the chart. So I divided it by location, campus, classes, food, and social life. UMass Boston is on a peninsula, which is like a massive land that's surrounded by the ocean on only 3 sides of it. So think like Florida, the shape of the Florida, how it just sticks onto the ocean. We're surrounded by the Atlantic Ocean. It's at the very end of the area, so we kind of have like our own little space. I think it has really, really pretty views depending on where you are from campus. If you go on like the 3rd floor of the campus center, you get this beautiful view of the Atlantic Ocean, all like the buildings and the islands. And then if you go into like the higher levels on the other buildings, you can see the entire skyline of Boston, and it's just so pretty and so cool. The school is also close to Boston. So we're only, I think it's 5 train stops away from downtown Boston, where Boston Common, Public Garden, Newbury Street, and all that fun stuff is. So yeah, I think it's a pretty good location. What I consider to be the bad of the location is that it's off of the highway, so there's a little bit of, you know, car traffic depending if you would be driving to campus. There's some train traffic. It's off of the school is off of the JFK UMass stop, which is on the red line, and in my opinion the red line is the worst line of the MBTA because there's constant delays and it's really inconvenient. And because of the location, the area has a lot of expensive off-campus housing, so it's like, from the prices I've seen like $650 for like an apartment of like 4 roommates. It's just, I don't know. I've heard a lot of things about Dorchester itself. I'm not really sure. I don't really go into Dorchester, but that's just what I consider to be the bad of the location. Now, the good of the campus. I think the campus is average sized. There are catwalks that connect to every single building, so you can walk to every single building via the catwalk, which I think is super convenient if it's like raining or it's really windy, which it gets really windy a lot because we're right next to the ocean, or just any other bad weather, or if you just really feel like taking the long way to class, because it's definitely faster to get to class if you don't take the catwalk. There are a lot of people that goes to that school, somewhere between 16,000 to I think 17 or 18,000. There's been a lot of, this year there was a lot of first year students because of the residence halls. About I know the halls fit 1,000 people, but there's a lot, and you can tell there's a lot because the campus is like huge. Well, lots of people everywhere. Speaking of the residence hall, this is the first year they open the residence hall. There's 2 of them, and it's only for first year students, like freshmen. So if you're not a first year or freshman, then you can't really get into the dorm halls, which is kind of inconvenient because the school is known for being a commuter school. But I haven't personally been in the residence halls, but they seem nice from the outside at least. My favorite part of the campus is the Harbor Walk, and it's basically this little walkway that circles around the university and the ocean, and it's just so peaceful and serene, especially when it gets warmer like right now. So I'm so happy that I can actually spend some time there. And it's kind of, I don't want to say it's far away from all the other buildings, but like it's kind of a walk, and you're kind of alone in your own little space, and it's very nice to just sit there and watch the ocean, watch the sailboats. It's really, really nice, in my opinion. The buildings are kind of bland. There really isn't any green space on the inside of the campus. I don't really know how to explain it, because on the outside of the campus there's some green stuff, grass, there's green grass, but on the inside, when like you're walking between the buildings, there's like no green area to sit. It's just mostly like cement, and it's just kind of ugly, and it's kind of a shame because, you know, when it's warm you want to sit outside. You don't really have much. There's been a lot of construction going on since I came here, and I know that's going to continue for the next few years, because they actually announced that they're going to start construction for more green space in the area of the inside, which is good, but I won't be here for that, unfortunately. But for right now, there's ongoing construction. Because there's so many more people because of the residence halls, the campus is definitely overcrowded. It's kind of frustrating. The lines in the bookstore and like the food court and all the other food places are extra long. It's really hard to find a place to sit because there's always people there. So like you really have to try really hard to find some place to be alone. One time I went to the 9th floor of the library, and there's nothing there but like old books from like the 90s that no one uses. So I thought I would be alone sitting there. No, there was like 5 other people. So like it's really hard to be alone when you need those moments where you don't want to be near anyone. Like, your best bet is going to your car and parking garage, if you even have a car on campus. Good of the food on campus. This is kind of hard. Maybe because I'm a picky eater, so I don't really know. This is depending on the person. But there's a new dining hall. It's inside of the residence halls. I haven't been in there, but I know it's a buffet type, so all you can eat, and you have to eat it inside of the dining hall. They have a new Dunkin' Donuts, finally, because I love Dunkin' Donuts. But if you don't like Dunkin' Donuts, they also have Starbucks, and there are. I'm this English major here. 1, 2, 3. I think there's 5 eating. I can't talk. There are 5 dining halls on campus, so you kind of have a range of food choices. Bad about the classes is that some classes only run once a year, which is annoying if it's for major specific classes, or if it's like an elective or gen ed class that you need to graduate, but you can't because it's only for a specific semester. I had to repeat the course because I did not do well in it, and I took it last year, but I have to wait until next spring to take it because it's only available during the spring. And this semester I had to take 5 other mandatory classes. You can only take 5 classes max per semester, and it was kind of frustrating. And there's a lot of gen ed requirements, like I understand they want us to be like very what's the word, what's the word? Like, they want us to have a broad range and experience everything, which I totally support, but there's like too much. I was a science major before I came here, and I'm so glad I was, because all my science classes transferred in, so I didn't have to take any science classes that were required from the gen eds, which I'm so glad. I don't really understand why people who aren't science majors need to take a science class. Maybe like a class about like the environment and stuff, but like chemistry and all that stuff, I don't really see the point. But yeah, so some of the classes may seem pointless, to be completely honest. Oh, the good for the classes. This is something that I noticed right when I got here. There's a whole lot of classes to choose from so many different subjects. It's kind of overwhelming, but like there's a little bit of something for everyone, which I think is really nice. If you're someone that doesn't know what you want to study, you have a huge range. It's very diverse as well, like a lot of like African American studies and like anthropology and a bunch of sociology classes, psychology. That's not just social and psych 101. Like there's a lot of language, and like there's a lot. They're also very interesting. Like I've taken a lot because I switched my major a lot, and I don't think there has been one class where I didn't really learn anything, even if it's not really what I'm majoring in. Like they've all been interesting in some way, and all of my professors except one have been really nice and caring, and they try to help you out. Obviously you get what you put into the class, and I haven't really had any problems with any of my professors except for one, but other than that they've all been really good. Another bad for the campus is that the parking is a bit expensive. It's $15 for a whole day in the parking garage and the parking lot on campus, and then down the street is another parking lot, but that's only $9 for a day. And the semester passes, I think for the garage and on campus it's $5.50 per semester, and then for the parking lot down the street it's $4 something. But there are shuttle buses. This isn't a bad, this is kind of a good. There are shuttle buses that run from the JFK station and the off-campus parking lot to campus. So that's a good thing. The bad about the food is that I find it to be quite repetitive. Like they don't really have a lot of options. I don't really think the food's that good, to be honest, because a lot of times I feel nauseous after I eat the food. And the food is like overpriced. Like I feel like I'm paying more than what it's really worth, especially if I'm not even liking it or feeling sick afterwards. It's just kind of annoying. They have meal plans, but it really depends on if you're not living in the dorms. It really depends on you. I wouldn't invest in it unless you know for a fact you're gonna eat on campus. But if I were you, I'd save your money and bring your own food or eat elsewhere. So for the social, they have an organization fair once a year. Well, it used to be once a year, but this year they had it twice a year at the beginning of each semester. There are a good chunk of clubs to choose from. I think there's a little bit of everything for someone. There's also events that happen on campus. You just have to look out for the flyers and the emails that are sent to you. And then there's, the athletics, so you can go to the games. If you don't want to do things on campus, there's also a game room. You can hang out there. If you don't want to do things on campus, you can go down to the train station and then go down to downtown Boston. And there's so many things you can do in Boston, not just Boston and surrounding cities. Like there's a lot in the area. The bad of social. Now I'm comparing this to my old school. I feel like there is a lack of fun events. There's a lot of like educational and informational professional events, but I feel like for just fun, like for whatever events, there isn't a whole lot of them. And I feel like it's hard to go to club meetings because of the fact this school is primarily known as a commuter school, so a lot of people just come for class and then leave right away, so it's kind of hard to like hang out with people. I've noticed by like 3-4 o'clock the campus is much emptier, and because of that, and because everyone has different schedules and a lot of students work after class, it's really hard to like, I notice it's hard for clubs to make club meetings because I've signed up for so many clubs, and every time I ask when the meetings are, they're like, we have to see everyone's schedule and it takes them a while to get back to everyone, so it's hard. Like, I'm a part of a club, the Writ Large magazine, and I have yet to go to one of our events because it's always when I can't go because I'm working, which is very unfortunate because I want to go because I'm a part of it, but I can't. I feel like even though I said there was a good chunk of clubs, I feel like if you're like really like, I don't know, picky like me, it's hard to find a club that fits for you. And because of the whole environment, like I said, everyone like coming and going, it's hard to make friends, especially for someone like me who is shy and kind of socially awkward. Like, it's really, really hard. But it does get easier to talk to people when you're in like your major specific classes, because you notice that it's like the same people in your classes, so that's good at least. And then obviously if you are in a club or in a sport or something like that, it's easier to make friends as opposed to if you're not doing anything. And what I think is kind of a really bummer is that there's no football team. I really wish there was, because I would have loved to go to some football games, but I cannot. And not a lot of schools in Boston have football teams. I think Boston College is the only one with their Eagles, so it's pretty unfortunate. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's everything that I have listed for the good and the bad of UMass Boston. I might have not said everything, but I did write a blog post about it, so in case I didn't say everything and you're just curious, or if you just want to see it in a written form, I have it on my blog that I will put in the description box for you. And I hope if you are a student who's interested in UMass Boston and want to learn more about it, I hope this helps you. Obviously it's my opinions, everyone's opinion is different, but you know, hearing one student's opinion is better than not hearing anyone's opinion at all. So thank you for watching, and subscribe for more videos. Bye!